What's going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney. Appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Be sure to hit that like button right now if you're rocking me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos like this weekly and almost every single day, alright? Y'all don't want to get caught lacking in these streets. Just subscribe to the channel. There'll be NFL content soon. There'll be NBA content down the road. Like I said, I've done a ton of NBA content, over 50 NBA videos. There's college football. There's a little bit of MLB content too, so just be sure to subscribe. Alright, Notre Dame football. We're going to preview and break down their schedule game by game. I'm going to just try to see where I can find some wins and some losses on Notre Dame's schedule. Can they make the college football playoffs again this coming year? We're going to see. And honestly, Notre Dame, I'm just going to be real with you. If you're going to make the playoffs again, you're going to have to go undefeated. I mean, the fact that you don't play in a conference, it just limits you. It limits your ability to put another data point on the table for the college football playoff committee at the end of the year. It's a resume booster. I mean, if Notre Dame did not go undefeated last year, they wouldn't have gotten in the playoffs. Just telling you how it is. So you have no margin for error this year. Let's see if you can potentially go undefeated. But Notre Dame had a pretty good year last year. They made the college football playoffs. They beat Michigan. They dominated Syracuse, which is a pretty good team last year. They beat Northwestern. Those are some key wins. Notre Dame looked good, very good at times. They also looked kind of bad at times. They barely beat Ball State last year, barely beat Vanderbilt, barely beat Pittsburgh. Those were some key wins. They just barely squeaked out. But listen, a lot of people thought Notre Dame shouldn't have been in the playoffs. Put Georgia in. Put Ohio State in. Notre Dame's terrible. You look at the performance they put versus Clemson. And look, I get it. I understand it. Personally, for me, I would have put Notre Dame in the playoffs. I know people are going to hate that I say this, but Notre Dame deserved to get in the playoffs. I am for rewarding teams because, let's be real, if you just put teams in the playoffs based on recruiting rankings and how good the team is, then what are you doing? I mean, what's the point of playing the games and proving on the field? I didn't think Georgia deserved to get in the playoffs just because they lost two of their biggest games. They lost at LSU. They got blown out by LSU, and they lost to Alabama in the conference championship game. Either way you slice it, Georgia had 2 losses. I would put Notre Dame in. I got to reward Notre Dame for going undefeated where Ohio State, loses to Purdue by 1,000,000 points. I mean, I want to know what you guys have to say in the comment section. Did Notre Dame deserve to get in the playoffs last year? I want to know the answer to that question because I thought they should have. I thought they deserved to get in the playoffs now. But however, if the college football playoff committee wants to tell us that Notre Dame was one of the 4 best teams, that's why they got in the playoffs, then they are dead lying to you. Okay, look. Notre Dame, if you watch them play football, they deserve to be in the playoffs, rightfully so. But they were not one of the 4 best teams. So if it was based off that, then they deserve to get in the playoffs, in my opinion. I thought I thought Alabama, I thought Clemson, I thought Ohio State, I thought Georgia were the 4 best teams last year. And I thought Oklahoma was even better than Notre Dame. So Notre Dame will be number 6 at best for me. But hey, it's always the common theme. Who's the most deserving team? Who's the best team? Who has the worst loss? Who resume builders? All that good stuff. But bottom line, Notre Dame got in the playoffs last year, but they got absolutely smacked by Clemson. Man, what is that? 0-6 for Notre Dame in the past couple years. In New Year's 6 bowl games. Like I said, Notre Dame didn't win their conference, got in the playoffs, got blown out by Clemson. Look, they returned 7 stars on offense, 6 on defense. They do lose Jerry Tillery and Dexter Williams, as well as Julian Love and Miles Boykin. Okay, they have some 2 key linebackers. They lost 2 key offensive linemen. But Ian Book, he's the returning starting quarterback for them. I like Ian Book. I love his game. I think he's a pretty good starting quarterback. He threw 19 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions last year. I think Notre Dame, if they're going to have any success, is going to have a great year from Ian Book. And he still has some good wide receivers to throw to. They only lost Miles Boykin. That's really the only big weapon they lost from last year. All right, getting right into the schedule. At Louisville, and then you play New Mexico, and then you play at Georgia. The first 3 games. So you got at Louisville, New Mexico, at Georgia. You're going to be 2-1 after those games. You'll beat Louisville. That's a 2-win team. I mean, ever since Lamar Jackson left, they've been terrible. Louisville's a program on the downside. New Mexico, they're not a very good team. You'll win that game. You made the college football playoffs for a reason last year. At Georgia, could you win this game? Yes. Do I see you winning this game? No. Georgia, to me, has one of the best offensive lines in college football. Jake Fromm's a pretty good experienced quarterback. I'm not sure there's a team in college football right now, outside of Alabama, maybe Ohio State, that has recruited more 4- and 5-star players than Georgia. Georgia's team is stacked and loaded with 5-star talent. They've had a top 3 recruiting class the last couple of years. The recruits they bring in is amazing. Georgia has the best offensive line in college football. They have good receivers. They have a pretty good offensive line, like I said. I think they're the better team. You're going to lose that game. You'll beat Virginia. You'll beat Bowling Green. But I think you'll lose to USC this year. Now, by the way, shout out to my boy Javon Henderson. Hopefully you get to play in that game. You know, do work at Bowling Green, okay? But either way, look, people are going to say, what? USC? They didn't even make the bowl game last year. And listen, I get it. USC was not a very good team last year. But USC, if you look at the talent on their roster, man, do they bring in a whole lot of great recruits. I mean, USC has recruited at a very high level the last 5-6 years, even the last 3 to 4 years, okay? USC has the talent to win games. They just don't go out in the field and do it. And they had a young team last year. JT Daniels is a very good quarterback. He just was young. He was inexperienced. They had a ton of babies playing last year. And honestly, even though I'm not a big fan of Clay Helton, is Urban Meyer going to return to coach next year? Oh, man, what a snake, Urban Meyer. I mean, this guy, the fake heart conditions, leaving Ohio State array, leaving Florida array. I mean, Urban Meyer, he's a great head coach. But whenever he leaves a program, he leaves that program in a mess. Ohio State's not going to be in a mess this year. I'll just tell you that right now. Either getting to the point. Look, USC, last 2 years, you faced them. You blew them out at your place a couple years ago when they had Sam Darnold. You barely beat them this past year. I just think that, listen, it's hard to go undefeated in a college football season, and you see upsets in college football all the time. I mean, you can just go up and down each year to year. You're like, how'd that team lose? I just think that Notre Dame, it's one of those things where USC just beats you on a bad night you might have. And look, honestly, talent-wise, USC might be just as good as Notre Dame as far as talent goes. Now, you obviously have to go out and prove it on the field as coaching, as schematics, all that good stuff. But I just think Notre Dame, it's hard. Look, you barely beat Ball State. You barely beat Vanderbilt, who was a 4-win SEC team, and you barely beat barely beat Pittsburgh last year. There's reason and cause for concern as far as playing these games. Okay, look, Notre Dame, I just think you'll lose that game to USC. All right, but then after that, you have a bye week, and you travel to Michigan. You obviously beat Michigan last year. They're a pretty good team. They're going to be very good. I do think if the game was played at Michigan last year, Michigan would have beaten you. I do think that the fact that you played them at Notre Dame last year really helped you. I mean, it was a very tight game at the end. I think Michigan beat you this year. Michigan has some very good wide receivers. Tariq Black, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think they'll open up the playbook a little bit more for Shea Patterson this year, too. Shea Patterson last year, I feel, was a little bit handicapped last year. They're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. They're bringing in a new offense. I think they're going to air the ball a lot more. They're always going to run the ball. They do lose Rashawn Gary and Devin Bush, but they're always going to have a good defense with Don Brown being the defensive coordinator. He's one of the best in college football, definitely top 5. It's a tough place to play. Michigan, they pretty much blow everyone out when they play them in Michigan. It's a tough place to play, like I said. You could potentially win this game off a bye. You'll have an extra week to prepare for this Michigan team, but I just think that they're the better team. And at times, even last year, I thought Michigan was a little bit better team than Notre Dame. Now, obviously, Notre Dame made the playoffs, but Michigan, from the eye test to me, when they were right, when they were at their best, they were a little bit better than Notre Dame last year. That's in my opinion. I think Michigan. I think Notre Dame is gonna have a big lead for most of the game. I think Michigan gonna come back and barely win this game. I think Michigan barely wins, but it's at Michigan, tough place to play. No shame in losing this game though. At Duke. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go through the rest of your schedule right now. I'm just going to say you win all the rest of your games. You're going to beat Virginia Tech. They're a decent team, but I mean, they lost to Old Dominion last year. I mean, man, it's hard to lose to Old Dominion. Virginia Tech found a way to do it. You play at Duke, they lose Daniel Jones. They weren't a very good team with Daniel Jones. I mean, he got drafted for a reason. He's a pretty good quarterback. You're going to win that game. You're better than them. Navy, you got them at home. You win that game. Boston College. Now, Boston College is never a terrible team. While they may not be an elite team, like I said, they're a solid team. And A.J. Dillon is a very, very good running back. So don't sleep on this game, but you do get them at home. I think you win this game. And then, obviously, you know, you're at Stanford. I think you close out the season with a win, okay? This is a tough game. You know, they do lose Bryce Love. Look, Stanford just loses a lot of talent. I mean, they only return 3 stars on offense. They only return 5 stars on defense. I'm not saying Stanford's not going to be a decent team. I think it's more of a transition year for Stanford because they lose so much talent. I mean, they do have Walter Little, who's a very good offensive lineman. But other than that, I really don't know who else they have that's an elite player. I mean, they do lose, like I said, Bryce Love. They lose J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I mean, it's a tough place to play, but I think you're the better team. I think because you're the better team, you already have 3 losses on the year based on what I just saw. You'll win that game at Stanford. All right, so Notre Dame, I have you going 9-3. You know, it's hard to make the college football playoffs back-to-back years. Ask Ohio State, ask Oregon, ask Florida State, ask any team that's made the playoffs once. Ask Georgia. It's hard to make it back-to-back years. No, you have no margin for error. You don't have a conference championship to win or play in to boost your resume. I just think that Notre Dame, I could potentially see 10-2. But I just think that because, last year you played down to some competition a little bit, I think it'll catch up to you this year. I think you'll lose to USC. I think you'll lose to Michigan. At Michigan, I think you'll lose at Georgia. Hey, 9-3 is a very good team. You'll probably be a top 15 team, top 10 team pretty much all year. I mean, you're going to compete. You're going to win some big games. Hey, it's no shame in winning 9 games. I mean, it's hard to recruit at Notre Dame. It's hard to win at Notre Dame. I mean, it's a hard academic school. It's hard to get recruits. You're not getting the 5-star players Georgia and Ohio State are getting. So, that's pretty much a wrap for this video. Be sure to like the video right now if you're rocking me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Notre Dame fans, tell me if I'm right or wrong about these predictions. Will Notre Dame win more games than I predicted? Will they lose more games than I predicted? Can they make the college football playoffs? Can they go undefeated next year? I want to know what you guys have to say. It has been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney. Appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Be sure to smash that like button right now, like I said, and turn on the post notifications so you don't want to miss a video. All right, please like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, and I'm Ghost. Have a blessed day, you guys, and go Buckeyes.